afraid of somebody else, so I couldn't hear, but yes, it's 8:30 my time and 6 p.m. your time. Good evening to all of you. I see only Tony. I see only
Yeah, they are
19, including all of
very
us.
much time specific, so they will join exactly at 6 o'clock. So I'm so yeah.
It's already 6, isn't it?
It's it's going up.
Yes,
So yeah.
yeah, 6.
It's already 6. Yeah. I'm thinking it's exactly 2.5 hours or 2 hours, 28 minutes. Whatever be it. But it's good to see you all. I think I look everybody's face but where are the people hiding?
Guys, if you all can turn on your cameras.
Yeah, please switch on your cameras. Yeah.
Unless I see them, remember their face. When I land and see them, I won't be able to recognize them. So wow, Arijit, what is on your wall behind you?
Rob, that's a marriage kind of certificate, you can say.
Oh, wow. So you're already taken.
Yeah.
Because I play a game hooking up somebody in the class with somebody else in the class. So I guess I shouldn't use you as an example. Yeah. So we don't want any trouble there. But all of you can hear me fine?
Yeah.
Yes, we can, Professor.
Okay, no, I'm sitting in a hotel room. I'll just tell you why, what, and that's why tomorrow's class had to be pushed out to Friday. I thought you would all volunteer for in-person Friday evening, but I guess you guys said 2 days is enough. Just seeing you on video is good enough. But whereas outside, anywhere else, they would say jump on and say, let's have in-person class. But that's always much more fun.
We didn't get that option, Professor.
I don't know. Tony has to arrange that. With all of you have to consider. Yeah.
There are some. That's not practically
budget constraints.
Yeah. Budget
constraints. That's the reason. But I can come to any of your home and do that if there is. If some of you have a big home, we can have a class in your home or in your garden. Somewhere. Think about that option. I'm okay with that. If all of you say that, okay, let's meet at this restaurant, party room or something, we can meet there also. I'm available. You just need to decide what it is. Or worst case, online. Yes. Oh, so who says sound? Sorry.
No, I was going to say it sounds great. I think we'll get back. We'll consider that.
Okay. But Tony, I hope I'm not stepping on your toes.
We'll discuss that.
Sorry, I'm in trouble already. But you guys check with Tony. But idea is class, the content, everything will be the same. There's nothing. It's just that instead of online, when I am there in Bangalore and you're there, it might be fun to meet and do. But that's okay. We're going to have 2 great days. So we have 32, excluding us, maybe 29. How many should be there? 35?
Yeah, 35%. So including we all should be. I mean, the students itself are. The total count is 35.
The students 35 and us 38. It should be. So 6 are still missing. Yeah. But as they join, we will have the introduction face to face when we meet. But thank you all for enrolling in this class and enrolling in this program. So year after year, what happens in this content is transforming quite a bit. And that's why you are the first batch to get the brand new book, which has updated every bit of knowledge, brought in theory into what is customer valuation, and so on. So I feel blessed that you are the first batch to have this new book, which you will get it in hand in a week's time, perhaps, not more than that. But in the meantime, you have the ebook access for you to just read at least the first chapter and the second chapter. And the idea behind this is, I just want to give you a background as people join. You have seen in the business what has happened in terms of transformation. You know, if you look at what Kotler has said, like there was a product orientation where you just build a great product, you can sell. Then there was a selling orientation. If you have a great salesperson to sell, you got it made. Then you had a marketing orientation where they say that you understand the customer needs and produce a product, you will make it easily. Then after that, we had customer orientation, which is just always focus on customers. But then people started questioning, if you focus on customers, what aspect of customer you want to focus on? And then they all said you need to focus on customer loyalty. And which is what you all would agree, isn't it? We want a loyal customer. And we'll get into the detailed discussion soon. But would that be the right strategy? Is something that we will address in this class. That is one path that we follow. The second path is in terms of orientation. So customer orientation. Today, I will tell you what orientation we are in. I'll build it up for you. Beyond customer, it has gone. It is still customer, but expanded dimensions, which we give a nice name, which the marketplace has given the nice name, not you and me. Then another aspect is that there was a product dominant logic, in the 70s and 80s and 90s. What is product dominant logic? Product dominant logic is that you sell the attributes of the product. Okay, that's what you have to stress. From there, in the 2000 and 2010, the 2 decades, it became service dominant logic. Service dominant logic. Steve Wargo and Bob Lush, they coined this service dominant logic. That everything, even if you're selling a product, you have to sell it as a service. And that became the mantra. But that's also now going out of the door. And a new dominant logic is prevailing right now. A new dominant logic. Can anybody guess? It's not product, it's not service, but it is something else. Third is we all have to come up with that particular philosophy. What is that dominant logic? You can answer. I mean, you can unmute and speak one by one. What could be that? What do you see as you in your business providing to customers, clients? No, that's customer first. It is not people. That is the orientation we have gone through. It's not about the people. It's about either it's a product or it's a service, or what is that? No, service is already gone. Service as a differentiator, no. It's one word I'm looking at. You're giving me a phrase. Collaboration and solving together. That is all part of co-creation. Okay, Manvi. No, Manvi. Fantastic. Yes. You will get a gift, from me. So Manvi said value dominant logic. That is exactly what is happening in the marketplace today. Value dominant logic. And why it is value dominant logic? Because there is a deeper premise in this thing. That is, if you take, let's take a product positioning. What is Rolex positioned as? What kind of brand? Rolex.
Luxury brand.
Okay, very good, Priscilla. Luxury brand. Okay, what is I'm going to give like Kia. Positioned as Kia Automotive, positioned as budget
Mass
brand.
mid-range car brand.
No, like if you have, okay, I'll give you the classifications that these people use. It's like an entry-level brand, mid-tier brand, premium brand, luxury brand, then I think iconic brand. So
Professor,
you
it
have
depends on the
this.
market.
No, okay, no, just in general, I'm just saying. You're right when you say depends on the market, but overall general positioning for Kia.
Mid-tier brand.
Mid-tier brand, okay. So then, but there is also deliberately, I left out one classification. I said entry-level, mid-tier, premium brand, luxury brand, iconic brand. But one classification I deliberately left. What do you think is the positioning of Samsung? How is Samsung household brand? How does it become household brand? You're right. The outcome is a household brand, but it became a household brand. But what positioning got them to be the household? How can they be in your household, Mova? A billionaire versus VK's household is nobody. How can it be in a
products?
Sorry, Shyam?
They came into multiple products.
No, within a product, I'm just saying. Within a product.
They have an
Within
offering for each of the ranges.
I perfectly said, Surabhi, but all of whatever you're saying, all of them are correct, but I'm looking for that what positioning, that magic word. What positioning allows you to be in everybody's household and have a product for everyone?
An essential product.
If I want a high quality product, Samsung television, 8K, I'm willing to pay $165,000 and I get that. If I want just a regular TV, I can pay $300 and get that television in my home, which is what you said. It can be in everybody's household. So what is that positioning? There's only one. Exactly, Simi.
Premium
Simi
yet affordable.
No. Simi, I think Simi said it. It's value positioning. Samsung and LG chose a great positioning, value positioning, that allows them to produce a product at the high end as well as a low end, and then they say you get what you pay for. And that is a value positioning allows you to enter everybody's household. So today, a company that is able to survive in terms of reaching out mass and be there for everyone is the value dominant logic, which results in value positioning. So just think of it always this value, because this whole course is about how to value customer. That's why you have a chapter on theory of customer valuation, how to value the customer. Entire thing is what from today, the future is about value. Manvi, you have.
Professor, just a quick question. Value is very subjective, right? It could be low, mid, and high, right? So, for example, Rolex shows a high value there, right? Whereas in Samsung is showing a lower price and a higher value, maybe. So that's why it's very subjective. So how are we saying that it's value based? Everybody is value based.
Good point. Rolex is not positioning themselves as value. They're just saying that you pay a high price, you get a high quality. So it's a quality, it's a luxury, it's an iconic brand positioning. They never call themselves as, you have a Rolex for like 25,000, you get a low value, you get a Rolex for 100,000, you get a high value. Their entire positioning is luxury brand positioning. The features vary. If you want to put all gold in your Rolex, then you go for $100,000. If you're happy with silver, you get it for $25,000. So their positioning is constant, luxury positioning. That's why Toyota and Lexus, if you see, Lexus is the luxury arm of Toyota, whereas Toyota is like mid-tier brand for everyone, or maybe a premium brand if it is high end of Toyota, and if it is Corolla. Still, I think they position themselves as mid-tier brand there as a Toyota. But whereas as Lexus, it's a luxury brand that they position, because a brand cannot be both a luxury brand and some other positioning. It can have only one position. So right out of the gate, Rolex comes as luxury brand. Right out of the gate, Samsung comes out as value positioning. So if you pay $100,000, you get a higher quality. So higher quality divided by a higher price, what ratio you see? Lower quality divided by lower price, you see the similar ratio. Of course, it is subjective what value, because the subjectivity comes not from the product performance, the subjectivity comes from what your expectations are. Because you're paying like, so let's take $300 television. And what do? You expect a lower quality. Not lower quality in terms of quality like sound, smart TV. Is it a smart TV? No. And so on. So just the positioning itself, if you dig up and see, the value is the foundation for everything today. Value is the foundation. So Pramit, we still have about 6 people missing. Sriram, please go ahead.
Professor, I understand what you're talking about value here, about what value you are giving to the customer from as a product. But generally, what has happened nowadays is that the term value or the word value is often being related to the economy or the tier which looks for more value out of the money. Okay, so how do you differentiate that in general? Because value, as you see, anything which is budget, which is cheap, it is termed as value nowadays, right?
No, see, value is a generic name, but what is the advantage of the value positioning is you can be in everybody's household. If you position yourself as a luxury brand and price it higher, that brand cannot be in everybody's household. If you say, I want to be in everybody's household, the only option for you, which is a great option, is for you to call yourself as a value brand. That's why LG and Samsung, they always say value brand, because they produce one products which are priced as low as $3. Like my 8 GB USB drive is like $3. Whereas they have, which you have not seen, Samsung car at a very high price, or a Samsung 8K television in Seoul airport. They have it. If you go and see, that's like $165,000. So how are they able to go into everybody's household is what it is. So even if you're a low end of the household, you would say, I got value for my money. How? I paid $300, I got Samsung. And if you're like Ambani, you would say that I have this 8K television, I paid $165,000. Look at this massive 100 inches, 150 inches, 8K. So I got value. So everybody would say I got value for my money. And that is the objective of value positioning. But all of you said one beautiful thing. It is subjective. Manvi said it's subjective, and you said it's value means economic value, lower tier, what it is. So we need to now uncover this value, isn't it? What is value? How do we define who is valued more, who is valued less? So the course foundation is, there is a theory to understand how to value, and there is a measurement, how we are going to measure. We are not going to leave the course abstract. We have, when say we, me and my team over the last 15 years, or now 18 years now. Initially, it was a test. Now 18 years, we have traveled the journey to establish value as the dominant concept, not only by saying what it is, but by defining, measuring, managing, and maximizing value. Okay, all of them: defining, measuring, managing, and maximizing value. So with your kind permission, let me go and share my screen. So let me go and minimize this. So can you all see my screen, please? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Professor.
So now I'm not able to see any of your face. If you raise your hand, I cannot see you. But I guess Pramit will be there to help us,
Sure, Professor.
interrupt me and ask question. So again, we know this class what it is, but if you look at the path to profitability in terms of these companies, Toyota says I am best in operation, and Apple says I'm building the greatest brand. They have the greatest, although they took a beating slightly right now, but Apple and Google still top in brand value, also with Microsoft now. And then the third path to profitability is I have the best relationship with my customers. So which is relationship marketing that you see here with now IBM. And in B2B, it was IBM who started the journey with us. And then in B2C, it was Wells Fargo, which started the journey with us. But of all these three, let's have some discussion here. Which path do you think is a sustainable path for a business, which will be there for a long time? That's the sustainability meaning, not the noun, but as a verb. I'm just sustainable path. Operational, how many of you would go for operational excellence? Yeah.
Professor, would it be relationship marketing long term?
No, I'm just, if you say relationship, tell me why you feel so, Manvi.
Because IBM generally kind of build relationship with their clients for a longer term, and they try to see the use cases there, and they try to build a relationship first and then the business later. That's how I would say.
So you feel that once I build a relationship with you, then
The business comes
job
automatically.
But the relationship can also get strained, isn't it? It has to be two-way already. Suppose a client buys from IBM, suddenly Google comes up with a better cloud product, and why wouldn't can they switch the clients? Can they switch to Google? How do they? I mean, isn't there a danger in relationship marketing that always it has to be two ways? That I want you, you want me, kind of business and firm client. They have to have this two-way. I asked. Remember, I asked the question: which do you think is more lasting? Sustainable in the long run. And you're not wrong, Manvi. I'm just trying to dent holes in your thing. Like when you say relationship, you seem to be of a firm believer that once you have a great relationship, it'll be there forever. Is that true?
I mean, over relationship, you build trust, and that's how trust is longer. But yes, I mean, I'm seeing a point there that if trust is broken, then there's a damage there.
Yeah. So which is easier? That's what among these three. That's what it is. I think Priscilla, you wanted to say something. Thank you.
Professor, I was going to say that all three are important, but if I were to pick, I would pick operational excellence because unless you look at your operations and look at your costs, you wouldn't be able to gain profitability. So yeah, that's what I would pick. But I'd say all three are important.
No, all three are there. That's why all these three top companies are there. It's just that which one do you think may be lasting? Which one can get them to last for longer? And you're of the view operational excellence. That's fine. I mean, we have Indigo, although it's a lousy airlines, Indigo is there as operational excellence, keep making money. and Southwest Airlines, similar positioning in the US, they have. And JetBlue, slightly better operational excellence, yes, but they also partly focusing on brand, JetBlue as a brand. So they have both of them combined to some extent. So thank you. And Push, you had
Yes, Professor. I also think operational excellence is something that can lead to sustainable profits, because it does have a little dependency on the other side. And one of the reasons why Toyota has been doing so well in terms of profitability.
okay, so they produce cars that really are reliable. And so therefore, Toyota has got 96% of the owners of Toyota say they would buy another Toyota again. That is the only automotive which has got the highest repurchase intention rate year after year. And another interesting statistic about Toyota is that they have the highest recalled cars among any automotive, Toyota. Yet 96% of Toyota owners say that they will buy a Toyota again. So when they follow this operational excellence path, they are doing it very well. Thank you. Subhash?
So I believe relation management is the long-term path to profitability. Why not operational? Even if you look into Toyota perspective, they focus on building a strong relationship with their suppliers. That is helping them to reduce the lead time to produce a vehicle, and that is why they are able to sustain over the period of time. And that is the one point that most of the companies even trying to follow up in the operation domain, to build a long-lasting relationship so that they can handle the variability of the market and other factors. And if you see the brand equity, it is ultimately depending on relations also. If the relationship is strong and sustain over the period of time, the other two will drive accordingly.
Hey, Subhash, you covered all three. Asked you to pick one.
I am picking relationship based on, because relationship is the most important among these two.
No, but you said something very nice.
I am keeping relationship as a foundation.
Okay. Yeah, that's the foundation to touch everyone. But the beauty of everybody who spoke is that you say that all three are important. They are all connected. But if you have to pick one to begin with, and that's the way you all did, which is so true, because even if you take Apple, which nobody so far went for brand. So I'll give Akansha. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, sir. So I was going to pick Apple. So I was just correlating it with service, product, and value, which you spoke about. So brand equity is basically intangible value, which will influence the purchase behavior. So I feel brand equity is very important.
Correct. So what we see is that all three are potential paths to profitability. Can everybody do they have the choice to choose, okay, I'm going to follow the path of operational excellence or brand equity or relationship marketing, or do they come over time and then they decide this is what I'm going to be? Can they be from day one this positioning? If I'm a new brand, new product, from day one, can I say I'm going to be a premium brand or a luxury brand, and I can do, yeah, of course, Gucci, Prada, or something, they can come. But how do you make customers believe this positioning? Do you build it over time, or do you do it right out of day one?
It's built over time, right?
Built over. I think it start over day one, and over the time it gets stronger.
Well, see, operational excellence, you can manage your operations, and customers may not know. Relationships take time to build, and operational excellence can be done from day one in terms of, like airlines, Indigo. You come, you turn it around in 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and you go, so that you don't pay for the gate charge and everything and all. But what takes time here is the brand equity. That branding takes time. Even in that branding, there is one brand in the last 15 years defied that, and then right out of day one, they became the highest brand value. Which brand is that? "15 years ago or so, it produced its first product.
Apple, right?
Not even 15, maybe 13 years. 13 years ago. No, Apple is there from Mac time.
I'm talking about Tesla, Professor.
Exactly, Sriram. Tesla, how did they do it? Like right out of day one, they just came out and said, I am the number one brand. And they stuck to it till the most recent quarter, where they are losing sales to BYD from China. And that's the reason the stock price is taking a beating. But otherwise, there are exceptional cases where they are able to show through their product, from differentiated product from day one, that how great a brand they are. So I don't want to belabor on this. I just want you to know these three paths, because these three paths are going to be linked to our value concept. So I want your perception, your thinking. So you from now on, your thinking should be any brand you see which path they are adopting, which is the dominant path for them. Ultimately, they will be all three, but which is the dominant path for them. And why manage customer relationship? But customer relationship is the last of the three, because they came into existence in terms of measurement and all in the last 20 years. And 2001, IBM was the first company to have a relationship account manager. And Wells Fargo was the first B2C company to have a relationship manager. So they started the journey with this position specifically. And so why this relationship is so important? Because different customers provide us different value. As a firm, if I am the firm, you're all the customers, you all provide different value. Somebody gives me $1,000 profit, somebody gives me $10 profit. So the question is, should I treat them differentially? If somebody is giving me more value, more profit, shouldn't I be giving them that relationship will last only if there is constant value alignment, what the customer wants from me. Example, you go buy a ticket in first class airlines. You get treated well, you get a larger seat, you get everything, all the perks. Sitting in the economy, you don't get that. So again, what is this? You get what you pay for. This practice has been there forever, but companies are now openly coming out and saying what is their positioning and marketing it as if it is one of the powerful tools they have to as a marketing strategy. More importantly, the last point you see here is the personalized communication. If I know you well and I know your needs, I can communicate to you exactly what you want. You're going to go and buy a home, and you want to buy a home in prime area in Mumbai. And what would you do? Or you're in Bangalore. So in prime area in Bangalore, you do that, versus some area where you just want a home, you're willing to go 50 miles out. So the communication for somebody who's seeking a home 50 miles out will be talking about the convenience in the local area. Why, even though you're 50 miles away, what are the benefits? But if you're buying in the prime area, they are going to stress different attributes to you because you're right in the city center. So that is what the personalized communication allows you to, knowing what you want, what is your value system, and I can personalize this. It's not like one communication. So understanding the customer's needs and values and then customizing this communication. Today, we have artificial intelligence tools to do that. So I had a chance to work with Google the last 5 years and develop this personalized communication product, how to choose customers, based on their value, what should be the communication. And I work with a Google executive. If any of you are interested, write an email to Prameet, copying me, and I'll send you the article. It was just published in California Management Review, CMR, with the Google executive, to really take how the communication with the AI embedded, how it is so easy, so cost effective, but yet most important tool for any organization to do that. So happy to share that article with you in terms of personalized communication. But if you go into the real world, how CRM works, customer relationship marketing. So I know I started with, I gave you 3 options: operational excellence, brand equity, and relationship. And I took off with relationship now as a path. Why? Because we will see that which is the toughest to maintain. Because once you have a brand positioning, you're the top brand. But in a relationship, it can go wrong with each and every one who you are having relationship with. And so, which is the toughest path, and how do we conquer this toughest path is what I'm going to showcase to you, how companies have done it well and how companies have misfired and lost their customers because they did not understand the value of that relationship, why in the first place they had this relationship. So let's look at with winning with big data, match.com. This is my favorite site because every day I go and look at this profile to see that, when am I going to find my perfect match? And it's been like almost 10, 12 years. Still, they are trying to help me, and look at the success rate of them. Their revenues are growing. And if you look at it, they have 15 matching algorithms, and they have 17 years of data to analyze and tell you, once you load up your profile, they'll give you saying that these 3 or 4 are the best match for you. These 3 or 4 are the best match. So what do you do with that? So let me ask you a different question along the same dating. If you have, I'm going to, I can't see who is raising the hand, but maybe Prameet can help. So where do you think, when people go on a date, the first thing they like to do? You can give your open, candid answer if you were, or if I don't want to put you in a acquiescence bias, you can just say third party. Where would one want to go with a date on the first date? What are all the places? What do you think? Just keep naming. Where would they like to go?
Coffee shops, cafe.
Sham, you're a very conservative guy, man. You want to go to the coffee shop first.
Card. Give you card also, no?
Prameet, you have not shared the slide with anyone, isn't it?
Yes, Professor. Haven't shared it.
Yeah, thank you. When you say yes, I got scared. You
Oh,
want to say
no,
no.
no, no.
Okay. So, because I was surprised that Shyam Sundar said coffee shop. But it so happens that coffee is the #1 choice for everyone to go. So when they said, look at what happened like 8 years, now about 10 years ago, they did the analysis. Starting 9 years ago, Starbucks teamed up with Match.com and said that if you are going to grab a date, please go to Starbucks. Everything is on us. And so they said, be sure to grab a date and head over to Starbucks. Look at it. What a great way to build a relationship. If you survive this date and you ended up being together, everybody will ask you, isn't it? Where did you meet? And you would say, oh, we met at Starbucks. It was very lucky for us. Suppose you break up after 3, 4 years, 2 years, 1 year, one date, it doesn't matter. Nobody will know you two were together. So who's going to ask you, where did you meet and how did you break up? The negativity is very less. The positive benefit is so high. So this was something brilliant that Starbucks did to build a relationship with their client base. Phenomenal way of looking at this, how they have achieved this. And if you look at the data scientists and how did that happen is through looking at billions of data points where they say where all these people go on a first date and second date and third date, where they go and what is the one that they like to keep going back to. And that is where Starbucks really took advantage through their data mining. And if you look at one of my good friends, Tom Davenport, and he said then, even today, data scientist. But then 10 years ago, what we meant as data scientists was we need to be capable of doing the analysis, mine the data and so on. But today, we have machine learning and deep learning tools. If you have worked with random forest or neural networks, you can, after this class, if any of you want to play with like a data set that, say we have helped with some companies, I can camouflage the company's name, but look at something for you to practice also. If you want to use machine learning, deep learning tools to analyze the data, because that is what is critical to find out what is there. So I'm going to challenge your thinking here, to bring in this notion of understanding your customers to build better relationship. So first question to you, I'm going to stop sharing this for right now, going to the screen so that I can see you. How many of you want your customer to be an habitual customer to you versus how many of you want your customer to be a loyal customer to you? How many of you think, I want a habitual customer who has the habit of buying from me? Or would you say I want a customer who is loyal to buying from me? Or is there no difference? Or I'm just playing with words?
In a general context or in our specific cases?
No, I'm just saying, like if you're Home Depot and
Yeah.
you have a customer, or if you're Coca-Cola, you have your customer, would they take pride in saying, I have customers who have the habit of buying Coke? Or would you take pride in saying, I have customers who are loyal to Coke?
But then again, that depends on the brand, right? Certain brands, you want them to be loyal, and certain brands, you want them to be habituated.
Buddy, those are all the answers you give in your first year bachelor's. You are an executive now. You have to take a positioning. You just give the condition and then say the answer. Don't say it depends on the brand. I'm giving you Coca-Cola as a brand.
Okay. Then you want a habituated customer.
Why?
Because that is a product that you need the repeat purchase. It's not a one-off purchase. It's a smaller value item. So you need that. You need to sell those volumes. So in their context, you want somebody to keep coming back to you.
Well, loyal doesn't mean they're coming back to you.
No, they are. So loyal and habituated. So they can be loyal, but that doesn't mean they keep. So you can buy Coke once a year. You can buy it once a day.
No, but what is loyal? And so you're confusing me with, you can be loyal and habit. Like you can be one or the other, or can you be both?
You could be both.
There is a difference. So I'll give you upfront, there is a difference. So if you want your positioning is for Coke, you said you want a habit. Is there anybody in the class who want for Coke, I want a loyal customer? So before you even go and choose this, let's really spend time understanding this. What does habit, how do you define habit? How do you define loyalty? Let's have first loyalty. What is loyalty? If you have to define loyalty in 2 words, just 2 words. Push.
Professor, 2 words would be slightly challenging, but what I would say is that
2 words, 2 words. I won't allow you to have more than 2 words. 2 words.
Reverse osmosis.
and I don't understand English that well. So no. You got to speak in language that everybody understands. Love towards a brand is 4 words. I'm trying, guys, 2 words. You have to
being
no.
advocate.
What is loyalty? Just loyalty. If I say these 2 words, everybody would say that it is loyalty.
Advocate in
Emotional
our solution.
connect.
Sorry.
Manvi?
I mean, being reliable and trustworthy towards a particular brand.
You have to understand, Manvi, what is 2 words? 2
Reliable
words.
and dedicated.
That is 3 words.
Professor,
Reliable,
consistency.
dedicated. No and.
Oh, that doesn't make a meaning as a
Repeat
continuous
behavior.
meaning. Oh, who said that? Are you?
Yeah. Repeat behavior. Yeah.
Yeah, repeat behavior. This is loyalty. Repetitive behavior is loyalty, isn't it? Just 2 words. Repeat buying, repetitive behavior, any of those. Do you get it? Anybody challenging the definition? Loyalty is repetitive buying, repetitive behavior.
But that can be a habit as well, right? You
Okay,
brush
now
your teeth
beautiful.
every day.
Okay. Now beautifully said, Manvi. Now you are challenging me. Very good. I love that. So habit is defined as 4 words. Okay, 2 words prior to repetitive behavior. You have repetitive behavior as loyalty. Now 2 more words put in before repetitive behavior, and that is habit. It is not my definition. This is what psychologists have defined, sociologists have defined. And so we are borrowing from that discipline, bringing into marketing. So what are the 2 things, that 2 words that you would put before repetitive behavior? Dash repetitive behavior. I'll give you a hint. Habit, if somebody detects a habit instantly or over. Instantly or over.
Over time.
Very good. You're saying beautifully, time. So the first 2 words
Practice and
are
routine.
related to this time aspect of it. Sorry, somebody said something when I was talking.
Practice and routine. Like you practice the thing and you follow that consistently.
Okay, so who said this?
Subhash.
Subhash, you have 1 word correct, consistently. So I'm going to see I told you to put 2 words before repetitive behavior. So consistent repetitive behavior. So what is 1 before consistent, which I already gave you the hint? It's consistent over what?
Instantaneous
No,
period.
consistent over what?
Or time.
Very good. So it's called
Frequent.
the actual definition is temporally consistent repetitive behavior is habit. Temporally consistent repetitive behavior is habit, whereas repetitive behavior is loyalty. So given this definition, you would go for loyalty or you would go for habit?
Loyalty.
Loyalty.
You don't want temporarily consistent repetitive behavior?
Because that's temporary.
So, Professor, it depends on the products what we are buying, right? Let's say
No, don't
if
please
it
don't say it. No. Let's go out of this products, okay? So I'm in general, I'm just saying what is that? The reason I'm dismissing the product is that I want to go into the science of this so that you understand the science behind this. What is really good for you, like temporally consistent repetitive behavior or repetitive behavior? And I'll tell you when I say the answer, it's not the product. Which one? How many of you will raise hands for I want repetitive behavior? A customer who's got repetitive behavior from a brand. How many of you will raise hands for that? And then Pramit can count. Pramit, how many hands have gone up? They have to raise hand for one or the other. If they are not raising
One,
hand for
two,
anything,
three,
then give them 0.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 hands as of now. 9, 10, 10 hands.
And how many of
10.
you will go? Okay, 10. How many of you will go for temporarily consistent repetitive behavior? I want a habitual customer. Raise your hand, please, because the addition has to add up to that number. Total class participants.
10 hands, sorry, 12 hands, 13 hands. Yes, 13 hands. 13,
So
14, 14 to 15, 15 hands. Yeah.
So 15 and then 10, 25. Many people didn't raise the hand. So when you go back and look at the recording, you would know who never raised the hand. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. So no, they have to take a position. So if they're not raising hand and taking a position. So what we see here is majority of the hands going for temporarily consistent repetitive behavior.
Professor?
Yes.
Just with respect to the repetitive behavior, it depends on, even though customers are having the repetitive behavior, but that means they are highly loyal over the period of time, but they're not buying a higher value or their returns are very high. So it is subjected to the condition. So the judgment is subjected to the condition. Like if they are like long-term buying and they're adding higher value, then obviously I will go with this condition. That means,
Subhash, you are 10 steps ahead of the class, and I salute you for that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry for
that's
that.
what no, don't say sorry. You should feel proud about yourself. Like when I said it's not product, you all said depends on the product. Subhash is first coming and saying it's not about the product. It is about the value that they provide. That will tell me whether I want, irrespective of the product, it is the value that will determine whether I want a habitual customer or a loyal customer. And that is absolutely right. And I'm going back here to show you how to measure this and do this. Okay. So let me go and share screen again. And I go to this power of habits. I'm thinking you are able to see my screen. So are you all seeing my screen? Subhash, you can see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So we see humans are creatures of habits. So we said typically 45% of our daily activities are governed by habits. As you know, habits are powerful drivers of recurring behavior and are known to override all these things, and right from the time we wake up till we go to bed, we follow some habits, either consciously or subconsciously. It keeps happening. Okay, so that cannot be altered because that is the way we'll come to that question later. Can marketing change habits? That is even more pronounced question. But look at this company, JCPenney. I know it's one of the major retailers, was a major retailer, are still there somewhere, but Sears and JCPenney were the dominant retailers 30, 40 years ago, 20 years ago. In the last 10 years, they lost their prowess. So why? What has happened? So JCPenney was doing well. The brand was well recognized. So they hired from Apple, who built the Apple brand. Well, Steve Jobs was the guy who built the innovation. There was a chief marketing officer, Rob Johnson. He was hired by JCPenney. He said, build our JCPenney brand. And what he did was he came and said, like, wow, I'm going to build this JCPenney brand by giving customers value, same value every day. So the first thing he did was to create an everyday value pricing strategy. Any day of the week, any time of the day, you go to JCPenney, you find the same product at the same price, which is an attractive price all around. It's not high priced, it's an attractive price all around. You cannot go wrong buying our product. You will never regret, oh, I overpaid for this. 1 year later, The company lost close to $1 billion, as Wall Street Journal reports, and he was fired. What went wrong? The reason he came and he did this, look at our customer base, such a strong customer base. They keep coming back and buying. He did the computation, how many people are repeatedly buying, and he found millions of customers, like 6-7 million customers are repeatedly buying from JCPenney. He said, we have such a loyal customer base, so let's give them everyday value. Akanshka?
So, Professor, they did not create a brand. Probably their value was just pricing. So the customers they attracted were value conscious audience, and there was repeat purchase because they were, getting customers who wanted to buy low value products, and that's why I think this happened.
No. See, look, I want you to exactly understand the nature of this question. They already have a loyal customer base of 7 million customers. They keep coming and buying from JCPenney.
Yeah.
Now he's giving them the value. Every day you come, you have this attractive price, the 7 million customers. So instead of like saying any day you come, you have this value. Same value. You're busy today, you're going on a trip, tomorrow you come, you get the same. You don't have to rush and come today.
Yeah. There's
What
no.
you're trying to say,
Sorry.
Akanksha, what you're trying to say, I'm not saying it's wrong. What you're saying is lost in. You can say, I know what is in your mind, but it has not come out the way it should come out. I'm not disagreeing with you. It has got something to do with value or not, is not, it is. The hint is there in this slide. Ayur, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I felt that there was no like variability or excitement to come back, like because it was same around. So what happens is that why people like get hooked to anything is because when every time they go there, they see something new, and then the next time they're like, what is the new thing? I will get it if I open it or if I go there again. So that creates some sort of cycle. And that was not there. You exactly knew what you were going to get there, and if it is that is not something you're looking for, you'll not go.
No, it's not with respect to product. The product is the same that they carry. So what is that the new they can get, not knowing, going to the, they wouldn't go not knowing. They have to go to the store knowing something. But what is that excites them? You're right, but you didn't say that magic word. What excites them to go to the store? What is the cue that they see? I'm going to run to the store. Typically, what attracts you to a store? I need to go today or tomorrow because
Scarcity.
Beyond need, is it like,
not scarcity or this thing, Ram?
Right.
So, as in I'm just thinking out loud. So basically, there's a sales event. So there generally people are seasonal buyers, right? So say just before Christmas, there's a sale event. People are attracted and they go in hordes to the store. But if it's everyday pricing, they're like, okay, maybe I'll buy tomorrow, buy later. So that habit was broken.
Correct. So what has happened is that people form habits of seeing something on sale, the red tag sale, price reduction sale. That is the reason why JCPenney used to have that high-low pricing strategy. So whenever they saw a sale every 2 weeks, every week, every 2 weeks, within a week, they'll have Thursday, whatever, star-studded price red tag sale, or they will give a name to that. And so people get attracted, they go and buy. But when Rob Johnson did the analysis, he saw customers coming back, but he missed out why they were coming back. What was the cue that made them come back? All their customers, majority of them had the habit of going to JCPenney only when they saw the red tag sale, price reduction sale. So that habit was completely ignored, he did not understand. So when he came and changed that strategy to everyday low price strategy, the queue was lost. So the habit which formed with JCPenney got killed. So what happened? All those customers saw the sale with Macy's, and that was the time like 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. Macy's stole the sale completely from JCPenney. And as a result, JCPenney lost $1 billion. They went spiraling downwards. They filed for bankruptcy. Now they are trying to sell off the remaining assets and trying to come out of it. We don't know what the future is because we are going into more into online rather than brick and mortar. So this is what it is. We took this kind of data from a largest home and garden retailer. And you see here that you're trying to measure this habit, purchase habit, return habit, promotion, and low margin. And there are two good habits here. Manvi, please give me a second. Purchase habit and promotion habit are good habits because they produce higher revenue. Return habit, they buy the product in return, so it costs money for the company. Low margin purchase habit is buying below the sale cost of the goods. Sometimes they have something called loss leader promotions. So it goes below that. So you don't want that loss leader promotion. That's also bad. The idea behind loss leader promotion is if milk is priced, I'm giving here like $3. That's below the cost for them. It's like typically $3.50. Most of the stores sell milk at $5 a gallon. So when you see at a $3, people will run to the store. But if they buy only the milk and walk out, then the store is losing money on every sale for that customer. So there are two good habits, two bad habits here. And if you look at the definition which we went, recurring behavior, temporally consistent. So recurring behavior is loyalty, temporally consistent repetitive behavior is habit. And we are fixing the stability. Most of you said it depends on the product category or the store category. So we'll fix that. So that's why I said fix a category. Now let's play this. So you have recurring behavior, temporally consistent, sustainability. And what I'm going to do here is give you this definition of this formula, what this means, trying to make it in English so that I don't lose anyone. I give you an example, and then we'll take a short break, come back, and then I'll show you the computation. When you have a customer database of buying behavior, from that, how do you measure loyalty and how do you measure habit? So what you see here is we are trying to measure habit strength. And n, t is equal to 1 to n. N is the number of years. Assume that there are 2 years, just 2 years. T is equal to 1 to 2. So in the first year, brand A was bought 6 out of 10 times. So we call it 60%. 6 out of 10 times, 60% brand A was bought. The second year, brand A was bought 80%. So over the 2-year period, the numerator is saying what is the average purchase rate of brand A? First year it was 60%, second year it was 80%. What do you think is the average over the 2 years?
40.
It's 60 and 80, I'm saying. How can it be 40?
70.
First year, yeah. 70, yeah. 70%, 60 and 80, so average is 70. That's the numerator. And the denominator is 1 plus the standard deviation. So if the mean is 70%, 0.7, and the first year they bought it 0.6. So what is the standard deviation of the behavior? How do you compute standard deviation? It's mean minus the value, isn't it? Mean is 0.7 minus the first year value is 0.6. Square it plus mean 0.7 minus second year is 0.8, square it, add it, and then divide it by n minus 1, square root of it. So square root, I'm just giving you to bring your 8th grade, 7th grade standard deviation. Don't worry about the formula of standard deviation, but I'm just giving you the idea. Okay, so what do you see here? So you saw 70 as the numerator, and suppose I say standard deviation is 0.2. So what happens now? 0.7 divided by 1 plus 0.2 is 1 point. So I'll say standard deviation is 0.4. I make it easy for you. Standard deviation is 0.4. So 0.7 in the numerator, which is the average over 2 years, divided by 1 plus 0.4, which is 1.4. So what is the habit strength now?
0.5.
0.5. Very good. So you have 0.5 is the habit strength. 0.7 divided by 1.4 is 0.5. Versus this is for habit strength of buying brand A. Versus if another customer like Push had both years 0.7. Both years he had 0.7. What is the average? In the numerator, what would it be? Both years he bought brand A 70% of the time. So what is the average?
Average is
0.7.
0.7 itself.
Standard deviation
Yeah,
is 0.
Standard deviation is 0. So what is the habit strength now for this customer?
0.7.
0.7.
0.7. So who has a higher habit strength of buying brand A?
Example
The second
2.
customer. Example 2, the second customer. Beautiful. With that thought, take a break, and then we'll come back and actually do a problem. Again, I'm going to work with you. So it's embedded in your mind that under what conditions, not under what products, under what conditions you want a habitual customer and what conditions you want a loyal customer. Okay. If it is a good habit, you want a habitual customer. If you're in a bad habit, then you don't want that bad habit customer. You want to go for loyalty of buying from you. So we'll do this. It's just take a short break. I don't know what is the break you take in the online, 5-10 minutes.
5 minutes max, Prof.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. 9:37 now. Come back at 9:45, please. No. So which is for you would be 7:15.
7:15.
Yeah, 7:15. Yeah,
7:15.
7:15. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
I think 3.
Yes, Professor.
Who are they?
I have already mailed them. So one of them is, I think, 2 of them I have mailed. One of them is Pramod and another one is Srinjoy.
And the third?
Srinjoy.
No, 2 names you said. Third?
Third, I haven't found because I have
would
already
be
checked
same
my
person.
list. So 2 persons are absent as of now.
Oh, 39. Okay.
Yes.
Hope they are well. I just
Yeah.
I just want to make sure they're fine, so good. Okay. So I'm still waiting for Sriram to come back, Arijit to come back, Simi to come back, Shibin. So many of them. Okay, let's see.
Hi, Prof. I'm back.
Yeah, okay. No, I'm just saying we have, if I subtract Mahesh, not Mahesh, sorry, AV, Hyderabad, and Prameet and me, 3, then will be 34. Okay, so you have 2 missing, you're saying. Okay. Oh, and Tony is
Joined
also
with
there.
two
So we are
Ms.
subtract. Yeah. Okay. So let's go. Please, every minute matters. So let's go here. So you can see the 5 periods that I'm showing here. So let's measure what is the return behavior over a 5-year period. Okay. So I'm giving you 2 customers here. One customer's returned 80% of the products they purchased from this store in year 1. In year 2, 90% of the products. And then year 3, 0, then 10 and 70. What is the mean return rate over this 5-year period for customer 1? 80 and 90, 170 plus 0 plus 10, 180 plus 70, 250. 250 divided by 5.
50.
50% or 0.5. 0.5 is the return rate. What is the return rate for customer 2?
50.
Average return rate. So yeah, it's 0.5 for both. So in the formula, this is the numerator. Over the 5-year period, what is the average behavior? Be it good behavior, bad behavior. Here it's the product return behavior, 0.5. And so if you take 0.5 minus 0.8 the whole square plus 0.5 minus 0.9 the whole square, and so on, find the standard deviation for customer 1. And what is the standard deviation for customer 2?
0.
0. So if you look at this, now you tell me what is the habit, who has customer 1's habit strength of returning the products? What is that number? And for customer 2, what is the habit strength of returning the products? It is mean divided by 1 plus standard deviation. So go ahead, please. Mean divided by 1 plus standard deviation. So what is the habit strength for customer 2?
0.5.
0.5 divided by 1 plus 0. What is for customer 1?
0.35.
Exactly, you would see the habit strength. So who has a higher habit strength of this bad habit? Customer 2. So the question is, at what level it becomes harmful to the company? At what level it becomes harmful to the company? They can return products to some level, okay. But if they keep on returning and that number reaches a threshold, what is the threshold beyond which the company starts losing money on this customer? The company starts losing money on this customer. And that comes from ordering. If you have 100 customers, find their habit strength, return habit strength, this bad habit of returning from the lowest value to the highest value. Just order them. 100 customers, compute the habit strength for all these 100. Very easy to do, exactly like this. Order them from the lowest to the highest. And then in the next column, have what is their profit contribution to the company. And then you will see at some levels, the lowest value of a habit strength is 0. They don't return the products at all, 0. The highest is infinity. They can be anything, and they can't be infinity, sorry. If they return 100% of the time, divided by 1 plus 0, if they are consistent, then it can be 100, like 1. Okay, 0 to 1 is the habit strength. Okay, we are constraining by 1 plus in the denominator. So the habit strength range is 0 to 1. You order them from the lowest to the highest, and then their profit contribution to the company in that year, and in that time period, you see. And so when you do that, you will see at 0.35 and above, the company starts losing money from that customer. In other words, if a customer has got a habit strength of 0.35 or greater in return habit, then it is a bad habit for the company because they are losing money. And then what will they do? They should not encourage these customers to shop with them. So we'll go to those strategies in a bit, but I'm just giving you a tool in our first class that you can go and go back to your firm, get your customer transaction data, identify good habits and bad habits, measure the strength, and then see relate it to their profit contribution and tell your management, we have so many customers who we thought were good customers, but they have this bad habit, and as a result, we are losing money on these customers. This is a simple exercise to clean up your database, because this is a foundation, because people chase loyalty. I just want people coming back and buying. If they ignore the return part or why they are buying, then you get to lose money. The question we are always going to ask is, first question, today we answered that question. You want a habitual customer or a loyal customer? I want a habitual customer if it is good habit. I want a loyal customer if they have bad habits. I have to change the bad habits. Still, habit dominates, because temporarily consistent repetitive behavior is habit. Under the habit is subsumed loyalty, which is only two terms, repetitive behavior. But if they can express that repetitive behavior time after time after time, that becomes a habit. Loyalty becomes a habit. You want to encourage that habit only if it is a good habit. If it is a bad habit, you want to remove it. What are the ways to remove the bad habit? We'll go and discuss this now. So we have the 4 habits, and I'm showing you correlation. This is not the focus of the study. I'm just showing you that if you have one good habit, you don't have a bad habit. You just have one dominant habit. That's what we are trying to say. And look at the profit contribution here. Like if somebody in this retailer, home and garden retailer, largest home and garden retailer in the US, they have a strong customer base with a purchase habit, good purchase habit. They contribute to $54 million, above the average profit. They also have a base, customer base, who keeps on buying and returning. And they bring a loss of $58 million. So they have a promotion habit, which is to some extent bringing $4 million. But somebody who buys only when the product is priced below the cost, they just buy that and exit the store. So that is low margin purchase habit. There are many of them. That is costing them even more. So this is our analysis. Now you are hired to change this behavior. Let's go one by one. Let's take the low margin purchase habit. They go to the store, home and garden retailer, they buy, suppose, a plier or a snow blower. Snow blower below the cost. Okay, so how can they prevent them from buying just a snow blower and incurring losses for the company? What strategies you can put in place to reverse that behavior? Suppose a snowblower costs $50 and they sell it for $40. Everybody comes into the store, buys for $40 and exits. What is this one simple, easy strategy that you can suggest? This behavior doesn't occur.
Change the pricing strategy.
Oh, that is their pricing strategy.
Limit the stocks.
Even if you limit, you lose money on everybody.
So you give that pricing only if they hit a certain basket value.
Beautiful. That's all. All we did was a simple trick. If you buy for $200 or more, you get to buy this product at $40 as opposed to $50. Just a simple concept that minimum purchase value, you just put in place, you reverse this habit so that people don't just come buy the product and exit. Okay, so we did this with grocery stores where they buy milk and leave. Everywhere we put that minimum purchase value. That is not an arbitrary value. That is the value that really helps to offset the $10 loss. Because if the company makes, if they are losing $10, then they have to gain that $10 back. Okay, so how do they gain the $10 back? They have to get the $10 back in profit margin. And if their margin is $10, 10%, then they have to sell $100 more of something else to offset this. But they don't want to break even, isn't it? So they want to make money in the total sale. So that's why instead of $100, they'll make $200. So 10% of that, they make $20, out of which $10 goes away in losses, loss offsetting. So $200 is the minimum purchase value. So low margin purchase is you have to tie it to minimum purchase value. Very good. How about the other one, return habit? What strategies can we put in place to reverse that behavior?
So exchange products and not return the money?
Okay, beautiful. One thing to say is that we will give you a product exchange, but then I'll role play it with you, Akanksha. Your name is a tongue twister. Is there any easy way of saying? I've had consistent. One second. I've had consistently this name in every ISB PGP Pro class in every cohort, and I taught in Hyderabad, Delhi. This name is there. So tell me easy way to say your name.
You can call me AS, Professor.
AS. Thank you. Okay, AS. Yes, they can do a product exchange, but even in product exchange, what they do in the US is to go to Best Buy, buy a DVD player, 30 days return policy. So they return it on the 29th day and have the value stored. And then they'll buy another DVD player, keep it for another 29 days, and keep returning it.
But there should be a cap to it. I mean, you can do it once, not multiple times.
Okay, so you are saying one is to restrict the return behavior. Okay, so that is one way. Thank you. Pramit, some other people you can choose. I don't know, maybe Pramit is gone. Like somebody else speak. Yeah.
Hello, Professor.
No, you have to choose. People are raising hands. You have to choose.
Yeah, Priscilla,
who has
Priscilla.
not. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. So I was going to say that, you give them some sort of reward if they keep the product. So if they're loyal purchasers and they keep the product, so you give them some sort of coins or virtual money, which they can use to buy future products.
But that also you're losing money, isn't it? They paid price and bought the product. If you give them incentive to keep it, then you're also losing money there. You may be losing less money than more, so that's your logic, which is valid. Right. But how do I prevent losing any single dollar itself? What you say is valid, Priscilla, but I'm just saying, can we not lose any money at all? Pramit, keep picking.
Yes, Professor. So Ritvik Pandey. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, Ritvik Pandey.
But he is not talking. So pick somebody else.
Okay. Then Subhash. As I can see Ritvik.
No, but he's not talking. So
Okay.
Keep going.
So in my view, actually, in order to reduce the return rate, like two factor if we can classify like from the service provider end. So we can just provide the product so that the confirmation is done during the handover time. So that will eliminate the reason for discrepancy of the product that you're receiving the wrong or right product. So that is one way. Secondly, like identification of a habitual customer who are into the route of like continuous return. So finally, like firing those customers or after certain limits of them and stopping them to enter into the loop.
Yeah. So you said two things.
Yeah.
The first thing, you have to take it home and set it up and then test it. If it fails, you have to return the product. So you cannot solve the discrepancy at the point of sale for many. But what he said is the second time is what companies have done is finding people who are habitual returners and have refrained, just bought them from shopping in their store.
Yes.
Because what happens is when Subhash enters Best Buy, his facial recognition software in the company would say that here is a demon entering the store. And what Best Buy has done is they're given the name angels and demons. For perennial product returners, they call themselves demons, those customers. So in everybody's cash register and the sales manager's office computer, there'll be a flashing picture that a demon has entered the store. So what the store manager will do is walk up to the demon and say that, sorry, we cannot sell you anything. Okay, look, you would say that's discrimination, but it is not a discrimination only because it is not based on religion or caste, color, any of those. It is, or gender, it is purely based on profitability.
Yeah.
I cannot run a business if I'm incurring loss from you. So that is valid in terms of running a business.
Just extension of the same point. If we see like many companies like blacklisted some of the delivery zones, they don't deliver to some of the zones. So that is one way of firing those customers because of these profitability issues.
Delivery zones, you are saying, okay,
yeah.
where it's a loss making. That's fine. Very similar logic. Yes, you don't want to lose money in every transaction. So what they do with the return is if you take Stop or Shop, what they have done is they say that you need to become a citizen member. Okay, so you have to pay money and become a member. Then they say that if you are a Citizens Rewards Program member, then you can return the product in a 2-week period for product exchange for the value. So they give privileges, but you pay upfront money for becoming a Citizen Reward member. So companies are now finding creative ways of charging money upfront to be a member, to have the privilege of returning, and that too only for product exchange. And then they will say only certain products are exchangeable. Like a DVD player, 29th day, you come and say, I don't like it, not allowed. But if it is something that you have bought a clothing piece, you have never worn it, or you just tried it one time with the tag and it's not spoiled, then they can take it up to a certain time period. So there are certain products you can limit and time period you can limit and charge them upfront to have that privileges. So we do all of this, and then if there is somebody still not with any of these habits still returning, stop them from shopping at your store. Okay, you cannot do that. They will still enter the store. You might have to, at the point of sale, when they show their identity, it'll flash. So you can say, we don't want to sell it to you. Even better way is do not market to them at all. Do not market the product to them at all. So that way you are lowering the marketing costs also to prevent this return habit. So we have done this repeatedly. So purchase habit and promotion habit positively impacts the firm's bottom line by 58 million, whereas the bad habits cost the firm 119 million. So we work with this firm, which I told you, the largest home and garden retailer. And when after we reverse this, their stock price has gone up from $83 to today, $350. And I don't own the stock. I don't do stock trading. I cannot own this, but I'm giving you what has happened. Just sheerly identifying, first defining habit, then measuring habit, then relating it to profitability, and then creating a cutoff, and then identifying customers who are in the threshold of giving you losses. Either try to reverse the behavior, if not, stop marketing to them and not allow them to shop. The companies are turning around to profit. So that is That is what something important we learned today is about habit and loyalty. Companies confuse habit with loyalty. You should not from now onwards, because you have a nice definition, you have a precise measurement tool, how to measure it. You can put it in Excel spreadsheet, it'll do it for you in instant. And the solver at the top, you have the mean standard deviation, just copy the column, do it auto sum, mean standard deviation, you get everything instantly. So you can do that and for all your customers. If you're fine, satisfied with this, I'm going to ask you a very fundamental question now. Here, we are looking at customer lifecycle value. Here is a customer coming into the fold. We acquire a customer, a firm acquires a customer, and then over time builds value, extracts value from the customer. They go to retention, and then at some point they leave the business. If you take State Bank of India, they say they have a customer who came in at 18 years old and is still a customer at 102 years. You can see a long life cycle for that customer with State Bank of India. The same State Bank of India also says, I've had a customer join 1 week and the next week they close the account. So every firm is focusing on how do I extend the x-axis, the lifetime that they stick with me. And the second question is, how do I extend the y-axis, which is how much value I get from them. Okay, so you have to extend the x-axis, you have to extend the y-axis, time and value from your customer. I'm happy to do it, but I have a problem. How do you define a customer? How do you define a customer? Who can help me? I'm going to stop sharing because this is something I really want to learn. Simple definition. Who is a customer? It's a very deep, it's a very deep thought, okay? So, no, I'm not scaring you. I'm just saying this is such a trivial thing, but the biggest misunderstanding is there in the corporate world. Okay, so, sorry, yeah, who was saying?
Professor, customer is somebody who generates revenue for you or your business.
Who generates revenue for your business. I love the definition, Shyam. SSR, because you have a long name. And like AS, I'm going to call SSR. Okay. And somebody else, let's take Ram. Do you agree with SSR's definition?
Yeah, so someone was transacted with your business.
Okay, Sriram.
Customer who is already has purchased your product. So suppose you have a product, he has purchased your product. If you are a service, then who has already experienced a service or has purchased your service offer.
Okay, wait a minute. Manvi and Priscilla and Momita. Let's take Momita has been very silent. So let's put her into action. Momita, I have a problem here. SSR says a customer is the one who is giving you revenues. And Sriram says a customer who gave me revenue yesterday and who is using the product today. Who is right?
I didn't understand what Sriram said. The customer who buys it
Bought a
yesterday.
product, who bought a product yesterday, like last year.
Right.
He gave revenue last year, but he's using the product today. But SSR says a customer is talking in present tense, SSR. And Sriram is talking in past tense, the revenue flow. How do you resolve this question? Who is a customer?
I think they're
Between
both.
them, only one of them is right. Who is right?
The customer is one who buys a product or service, right? So if that person is buying a product or service, would obviously use it. So, I mean, what Shyam says is right and what Sriram says is right as well. But if you're talking about somebody who has bought it earlier and not buying it again right now, maybe at that point in time, that person is not a customer to me. But that person has been a customer to me earlier.
Okay, beautifully said. So we call them as past customer.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you put SSR's definition is giving revenue, is anybody else wanting to talk? Because this is the biggest misunderstanding in the corporate world. Unless you get it clarified today, your whole journey in that class, you would be misunderstanding the whole concept. We have to really understand today who is the customer, what is the definition.
Professor,
Anybody? Yes.
it's just not about buying the product or services, right? Because even if I'm having a conversation with my customer, potential customer, and they're giving me any feedbacks and I incorporate that in my business, they are also my customer. So, I mean,
But that's a
it's more of
prospect, isn't it? That's a prospect.
It's a prospect.
still a customer, right?
No. How can, if they have never bought from you and they are just giving you ideas, if you produce this, I'll buy from you. They're a prospect. They're not giving you revenues today. They're not giving you revenues today. So you won't be able to unravel this in the right way, because I'll tell you, the whole corporate world has misunderstood this. So this was our first job, because if you look at the whole world, there are two kinds of purchases. One is a contractual purchase, another is a non-contractual purchase. Okay, so in any contractual purchase, you are a customer at any point in time. Example, you are an Airtel customer, you pay monthly bills, they provide you service at every instant, you provide revenue to them at every instant, except you choose to pay at intervals, monthly. But they provide service to you at every instant, and you're using their service at every instant, and you pay for that every instant. But at periodic intervals, you pay the money. Okay, so that is contractual. You have utilities, electricity, you have gas, you have contracts everywhere. But the contractual purchases of your life is only about 10% of your total purchase items that you do. Less than 10% for many households. There are only 3 or 4 out of 100 things you buy in a month. There are 3 or 4 items are contractual. One is your utility, your gas, electricity, your wireless, internet, cable, or your subscription services, Hulu, Voodoo, all those things. So you have which airlines you fly, which hotel you stay, which restaurants you go to, which movie theaters you go to, which grocery stores you go and buy, which retail clothing store you go and buy, which utensil store you go and buy, which bus you take, which train you take, which mode of transportation you take. Everything is at your choice. You may have a habit, but you are not obligated to go to the same hotel, same airline, same theater to watch any movie. Okay, so contractual or non-contractual. Non-contractual is only 10% or less of the total purchase things that you do, items you do. Majority of them are non-contractual. So in the non-contractual, you go to a retail store, and you bought a pair of clothing, last month. And the return policy in the store is 14 days and it's over. So today, can the same stores take Shopper Stop? Can they say that Abhinav Jaipuriar is their customer? He is the one who bought last month. 2 weeks period is over for returning. Can Shopper Stop call Abhinav as their customer today? Yes or no? No, it depends. Okay. Yes or no? I would love Abhinav himself to answer that question if he's there.
Yeah, Professor. So it will depend on the service agreement, right?
No, I already told you all those things. 2 weeks over. No, depends. Yes or no?
I would say no. If The customer has already bought, used the product, and the return cycle has completed.
Okay, so you're saying it's not a customer today. Thank you. Anybody else says they are a customer? Yes.
Professor, I
Sriraam.
think, okay, sorry, yes, sure. Go ahead.
Momita, go.
Yeah, I think it's still a customer because once that customer has bought something from me, I know that is my target customer and that person is in my data, right? So next time if I have any offer, if I have anything, I will definitely shoot an email to that customer. So that person is part of my customer database. So I think it's a customer, yeah.
Okay, AS.
So, Professor, I'll understand the purchase behavior from the customer. For argument's sake, it's once in 3 months. So that means if a customer doesn't come back in the next 3 months, that means it's no more my customer.
So you're looking at purchase cycle, but nobody's agreeing with SSR's definition now. Poor guy, he gave a good definition. A customer is the one who's giving you revenues. And you all say, I agree to that, and then you're going back on your words. SSR, you're not a popular guy in the class.
Very popular.
But then why are people not following you?
Past tense was.
Oh, you were a popular guy, sorry. No, but the problem is this, that if you agree to the definition, a customer is the one who's giving you revenues, then if they gave you revenue last month, how can they be a customer this month? There is no contract for them to come back and buy, isn't it? It's not a contractual, it's a non-contractual situation. They may buy, they may not buy. You just made the sale, is over. Your relationship with them is over.
But I'm still using the product, so
So then you're redefining the customer as anyone who using the product is a customer. Then what is the user definition then? Who is a user, who is a customer?
I'll think about it, Professor.
No, I'm telling you, you're not alone. This is a very profound question, misunderstanding. So I'm going to clarify that in the interest of time because we have another 10 minutes left. So I'm going to clarify this for you to say that the world is divided as contractual, non-contractual, which you agree. So in a contractual, no qualms about the definition of customer because you're under contract. If you have a contract, you're a customer. In a non-contractual, when you make a sale and any return period or transaction period, even if you choose to pay for that purchase over a 12-month period, but you bought the product, you bought a furniture from Urban Ladder. Is that correct? I said Urban Ladder?
Yes, Professor.
Okay, so you bought a furniture there and it's like $1,000 worth. Okay, but you are paying $100 a month, but still the return period for the furniture is only 30 days and it's over. Okay, so you cannot do anything except that they're paying money, they financed it. They might have financed it from Urban Ladder or financed it from HDFC Bank. It doesn't matter, but they're just paying. If they finance from HDFC would have paid the full money to Urban Ladder and Urban Ladder has got all the money and you are HDFC's customer because you got a loan, you're repaying it, so you are their customer at that point in time. But for Urban Ladder, after the 30-day period is over, you're no longer their customer. You are called a past customer. But they do not use the word past. They say, oh, he or she was my customer. He or she is my customer, they'll say, even present tense. They could, if they say was a customer, that's okay, which is same as past customer. But they say they're all my customers. Why did this definition come into force? There was a largest catalog company in the whole world called Spiegel, Spiegel, Spiegel Catalog. It's a German company. Ted Spiegel was the CEO. He came to us one day and said, I have 20 million catalogs I mail every quarter. And I asked them simple question, why do you mail 20 million catalogs? Because he said, I have 20 million customers. and then asked, so who is your customer? He defined as anybody and everybody who bought from me in the past is a customer today. And then, okay, if I just cut you slack with the definition, okay, so what is your problem? He says, when I mail these 20 million catalogs to my customer, I see only 2% of them buying products from me. Remaining 98% of my customers are not buying. And I told them, that is your problem. Because you are defining anybody and everybody who bought in the past as your customer and mailing catalogs to them. But if only you had said at this point in time, who is likely to buy in the future based on the historic buying behavior or history of buying behavior, historical or history of buying behavior, then if you say who is likely to buy in the future in the next quarter and only choose to mail to them, you would get a better deal. And he said, okay, do it for us. So me and my former doctoral student, Werner Reinhardt, he's now a professor at University of Cologne. We built a model and said that we took the historical data of all the past customers, built a probabilistic model of who will buy in the next quarter. Instead of 20 million, we came up with 200,000 who's likely to buy. Told him to mail it to 200,000. That's all. Do it as a study for 1 year. He mailed it to 200,000, and you saw over 184,000 of them bought the product. So instantly, 20 million minus 200,000 is 19.8 million. Times catalog cost is $10. He saved $198 million instantly. All this came because of misdefining who a customer is. So in the non-contractual world, only at that instant of money exchange, you have a customer. In the non-contractual world, only at the instant of money exchange. Prior to that, they are a prospect. After that, they become a prospect. What is the probability for this prospect to come back and buy? So in a contractual, we have no issues. In a non-contractual, you have past customer, then a customer at that instant exchange, plus the product return period. Post that, you become a probabilistic customer, which we call it as a prospect. What is the probability? And we are going to compute that probability in the next class. Looking at a data pattern, we will put a probability. We'll take two customers with a different pattern, buying pattern, and we'll assess the future probability, who has a higher probability. Because this is the world that we live in. So if I can go back and again share the screen. Sorry, here. So you have a universe of customers, you have prospects coming in, they respond to your marketing campaign, become new customers, and they all buy in differential quantities and giving you differential value. Some of them will leave the relationship, stop buying from you, and then companies make an attempt to win them back. Typically, winning back occurs in a contractual situation. You are an Airtel customer, you quit and you go to Jio, and then Airtel will say that, why did you leave? Can you come back to us? Here is a deal. Because in a win back, what happens is when they sign you up, again, they sign you up for a potential period of time, at least 1 year. Sometimes these days they say no contract. You can quit anytime. But if that is the case, then you need to recover your investment in the first month itself, or identify their profile so that you know this kind of profile will never again quit and go back to competition. So if you want to understand this win back, if any of you are in a contractual business, B2B or B2C, and you have the problem of customers or clients breaking contracts and going away, you want to win them back, write to me. I have a title, a paper, both in a Harvard Business Review and in Journal of Marketing, Winning Back Lost Customers. And I'll show you what is the process, how to win them back, and how to make more money out of them. Winning Back Lost Customers is the title. Okay, so this is a process. You'll get a copy. You'll get the entire slides that I'm presenting right after this session. Prameet will upload the PDF version of this, so you'll get a copy of this. So this is the discussion we had, that you have two customers here. One is a regular catalog customer who doesn't make a purchase for several years, which is the Spiegel case. We know they are past customer. We cannot call them a customer today. They are a former customer or a past customer. But let's play the second one. The credit card customer who stops using the card. You are SDFC client. They gave you a credit card, but you never use the credit card in the last 12 months. Can SDFC call you as their customer today? Say yes or no.
No.
Why no?
Because you haven't used the card.
You haven't used the card, but isn't there a contract?
Yes,
It's an inactive customer.
there's still customers.
Inactive customer.
Somebody used the word beautiful. They are still customers, but inactive customers. But all of you, please mute it because there is echo I'm hearing. So they're inactive customers. You're saying which the companies or the slang used in the business is called dormant customer. You can also call inactive customer, nothing wrong. The same meaning, dormant customer, because there is a contract. You are still liable for the credit card. In case somebody steals your credit card and uses it, you're held liable for at least some amount. So till you terminate the card with them, I say I cancel the card, you are their customers because there is a liability there involved. So they are called a dormant customer, or inactive. So what companies have to do is they have to activate them again. So they'll give them a campaign. If you use the card this month, we will double the points for you. Like if you spend $1,000, we'll give you 2,000 points as opposed to 1,000 points. So they'll have multiple schemes to activate this. So this is the way they do this. So in the contractual world, no problem, who is a customer. In a non-contractual world, you have a past customer, or you have a prospect, or you have a customer at that instant. But where there is a confused state, like SDFC credit card, which there is a contract there, a liability, implicit contract or explicit. Some companies make you sign, some companies give you a card as part of signing the, using the card, you agree to the fact you are liable for this. You may not use it, but you are still held liable for any expenditure on the card. So to activate it and make money, they will, if you become a dormant customer, they will come up with schemes to activate it. So the next class, what we will do is start the class with designing the loyalty programs. I want you to think about this. I want you to come back when you open the class, who, in your opinion, has the world's best loyalty program and why? Okay, this is your homework for the next class, not a written assignment, but for class discussion. I want you to come up with, if you say Singapore Airlines has got the best loyalty program, or Qatar Airways, or Hilton Hotel, Shopper Stop, why? What are the features, and why do you consider that as the best loyalty program? Fantastic. I really enjoyed the session, and I'm going to stop just here. Thank you all for being here today. And also, I want to thank you profusely for accommodating my request to postpone tomorrow's class to Friday due to my travel schedule. Sorry, it happened, that it's unavoidable. And that's what I was willing to do it in person, but I realized during the break that it's easy for me to come to your garden and present, but I need a projector to project the slides and go over the computation, which means we have to meet in a movie theater. If anybody is willing to rent a movie theater and put the slides there, we can have the class there.
Tony.
Who is the Who is the richest in the class?
Tony.
No. I won't. Tony is my best friend. I won't subject Tony to any of this torture. Yeah, no. No. He helps you, he helps me. So we have to win him over all the time. But there should be somebody in the class who is very rich.
Shravan.
Yes, sir.
Shravan, how do I become your best friend? But let's I know I'm as eager as probably you are to
Are
meet.
you flying Airbus or Boeing tomorrow?
Airbus or Boeing? Boeing, no. Airbus 321.
Okay, then you're his best friend.
Then his best friend, yeah.
Oh, he works for Airbus. Okay.
No,
not
he's the
Boeing.
pilot
Okay.
of the flight which you're flying.
He flies from US to India?
Shravan, can you answer?
Where is Shravan? I don't even see him.
Yeah, I'm here.
He's everywhere after 9
Shravan Badepudi, which flights, which segment you fly?
I have a license for smaller aircrafts, so four seaters.
Whitefield to Hebbal.
So you can buy me a plane and take me there. I mean, you can gift me a plane. I mean, I'm always open to accepting gifts. You know something? I told you, I registered my profile in Match.com and still looking for it. So if I become your best friend and you say you're taking me in those flights, I think probably I'll find my right match there because
hasn't
of
worked.
that. It doesn't work that way?
No, I'm saying Match.com doesn't work that way.
Match.com doesn't work that way, but we'll find. I think the class will help me to find somebody. Yeah. So I'm optimistic guy. I'm always there. But Shravan, let's take a flight together because I enjoy flying. I enjoy being a pilot. So flying a plane is a hobby that I always wished. I have done that only in a simulator, but not with a real plane. But we can always do that together. But Friday, we'll meet in Zoom at 8 o'clock. I'll be in the Bangalore, our class hotel. I'll be there. So, happy to be there, meet you all, and have a great week. The only exercise between now and next class is the loyalty programs. And if you have access to the ebook, please read the first and second chapter, the theory of customer valuation, because that is something that is the foundation for this class. Have a safe evening and enjoy the IPL. I know RCB is playing, and I'm sure you will all be eager to watch Kohli bat well. Okay, and that's why
Professor,
I said I was. Yeah, Tony. Yes,
That's the
please.
only thing left there.
Professor, the
Yeah.
exercise for us before the next class is that which is the best loyalty program and why do we say best? That's the ask, right?
What are the features and what are the features that make you say that is the best loyalty program? What
Okay.
attributes of the loyalty program?
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. All of you. Yeah. Bye. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Professor.
Professor.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.